As a targeted individual and a paranoid schizophrenic, it's important to say that at the moment I'm rather embittered about the fact that I've just spent 5 years locked away for relatively little in terms of offences. I was placed in a forensic psychiatric institution for insulting the police, basically. So, very interesting. I was also talking about the cartel arrangements between Devizes Police and Faith of Ishmael adherents, and how Devizes Police were overseeing and participating in the rape gangs in the town of Devizes. So very interesting to consider that I was then incarcerated in a forensic psychiatric facility for 5 years, simply for insulting and exposing Devizes Police. Indeed, it's all very interesting to consider this. Indeed, the police are the biggest gang, and I must have annoyed one of the organ harvesting crowd for the psychotronic targeting to begin. Indeed, I'm not sure whether it was my direct exposures of the Sabbatean network or the organ harvesting network, or both, that brought about the psychotronic warfare being conducted on me. Indeed, it seems that Devizes Police had the connections to be able to get military grade tech to utilize radiation beaming against me. Indeed, it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, the police are the biggest gang and operate so many cartels here in Wiltshire. Indeed, I don't really have a problem with independent trappers and low-level drug dealers. It's the cartel I despise. Indeed, Wiltshire police interweave with the cartel. And in Wiltshire, the cartel is mainly Pakistani, Bengali, Turkish, and Kurdish heritage operatives. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, the Bengali mobsters in Devizes operate a child trafficking syndicate in communion with the Devizes police operations surrounding the Waterrose and Sons butcher shop, which also has its own child trafficking operation. Indeed, the Waterrose and Sons butcher shop child trafficking operation provides children for the Ninth Circle activities in Wiltshire surrounding manor houses such as Bowood House, the home of the Petty Fitzmaurice dynasty, who are the Marquises of Lansdowne. So it's interesting to consider. Indeed, Bowood House also contains a large adventure playground. And indeed, there are usually paedophile ring guys in the bushes taking photos of the children at the adventure playground at Bowood House, deciding who to abduct for the Ninth Circle rings. So all of this is done in communion with Calm Police. The Calm Police oversee a lot of child abduction operations that occur surrounding the Bowood House Adventure Playground. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, PC Stuart Welsh has personally conducted several child abduction missions for the Ninth Circle. So it's all very interesting to consider and all really quite awful indeed. PC Stuart Welsh is chiefly an operative of Mossad also, so it's interesting to consider that he persecuted me for my opinions on the Zionists in the years 2015 and 2016. Indeed, although at the time I was being programmed by networks of British intelligence mind control programmers who themselves had Nazi and fascistic leanings, and although I do not agree with Nazi and fascistic ideology at all, and I've gone to great pains in this video blog to expose this, my opinions on the Zionists, however, still stand. However, I do not have a bad opinion of Hebrew commoners, who are the usual sacrifice victims of the Zionists in such historical episodes as the Holocaust, i.e. the burnt offering that the Zionist Masons offered up to Moloch. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, Benjamin Coleman, the schizophrenic legend, theorized on a lot of this material also. Indeed, David Icke, despite being a counterintelligence operative, has himself stated that the Zionists coordinate the drugs trade in the United Kingdom. So it's all very interesting to consider that the British police operate in communion with the narco cartels, who are mainly in the UK of Faith of Ishmael heritage. And indeed, the British police operate in accordance with directives handed to them by Mossad operatives. So it's interesting to consider all of the narcotics trafficking, drugs trafficking, and organ harvesting here in Wiltshire is overseen by networks of Israeli spies and pseudonyms. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, pseudonyms are Israeli spies without Israeli passports that are usually used just once for some sort of operation by their Katsa, i.e. their Mossad chief. These operations are usually to do with corporate espionage, business enterprise, drug dealing, and child trafficking. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, Benjamin Coleman was aware of an Israeli spy ring operating out of Vancouver. And indeed, a lot of the persecution he underwent was because of this. Indeed, I am aware of an Israeli spy ring operating in Wiltshire via networks of satanic neo-Nazis. Interestingly, it's interesting to consider that these satanic neo-Nazis are all operative for Israeli spy rings. Indeed, these networks of 764 in Wiltshire are overseen by Israeli intelligence operatives such as Herschel Grunbaum, who is a personal operative of the Jericho Group, overseeing organ harvesting and child rape networks in devices. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, this is a Zionist enterprise. So it's interesting to consider that Anglo patriots seem to have a lot of support for Israel when spies of the State of Israel's Foreign Intelligence Directorate, i.e. the Mossad, are personally overseeing the rape of small Anglo children. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, there is an Israeli intelligence operative in devices named David Klausfeld, who is operative under the pseudonym Ian Hughes. So it's all very interesting to consider that Ian Hughes has a personal vendetta against me and despises me, supposedly for my anti-Semitism. So it's all very interesting to consider that Ian Hughes would try and get me arrested all the time while I lived in the town of Devizes. Indeed, it's all very interesting to consider that large networks of confidential police informants were constantly observing me during my time in Devizes. Indeed, even through windows opposite my residence, I was being stalked and mocked by gang stalkers my entire time that I was dwelling in Devizes. And a lot of this began because of my knowledge of the international Zionist conspiratorial network. So it's interesting to consider that it was my knowledge of these networks that began my targeting by the police of Wiltshire. So it's interesting to consider that PC Stuart Welsh personally took against me and began a vendetta against me because of my opinions on Zionism. Indeed, as I stated, PC Stuart Welsh is an operative of the Mossad. Indeed, I also believe he has been used in a pseudonym project. Indeed, This Sayanin project involved the abduction of a 4-year-old Anglo girl for a ring of the Ninth Circle in Yatesbury. So it's interesting to consider that Calm Police are operating a child abduction network for the Ninth Circle, operating out of the manor houses of Wiltshire. Indeed, many of the manor houses around Wiltshire have large crypt systems containing dungeons where hundreds of children, stolen not only from the United Kingdom but also various other regions, are kept in chains and malnourished and are used in rape and sacrifice rituals by British elites, i.e. the covens of the Ninth Circle, which directly interconnects the British elites to the Vatican. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, PC Stuart Welsh of Calm Police is a key link in this chain as a Mossad operative and member of an international crime syndicate known as the Octopus, which has as its hardcore die-hard operatives Israeli intelligence and Nazi intelligence operations. Indeed, the Octopus is a synthesis of Nazi intelligence and Israeli intelligence and is overseen in its activities in Europe, the United Kingdom and North America by networks of Russian mobsters who are themselves operative for the Kremlin catacomb headquartered Jericho group. So it's interesting to consider all of this interconnects up with the Kremlin's catacombs, where are found the headquarters of the Jericho group. Indeed, at times, Devizes police receive direct radio transmissions from the catacombs of the Kremlin that basically dictate how their operations are to be conducted, especially concerning the Walter Rose and Sons butcher shop organ harvesting cartel. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, these networks of Sabbateans and Israeli spies directly oversee the operations of small-town British Masonic lodges such as Moonraker Lodge number 8747 and White in Devizes and Wyvern Lodge number 8620 in Warminster. Indeed, it's interesting to consider that this organ harvesting cartel operating out of C.J. Robbins in Warminster is overseen by UK military operatives, themselves connected to Palantir and the defense industry, which is notoriously pro-Israeli. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, all of these networks want to slaughter Hebrew commoners in London as part of a ritual sacrifice to the Zionist elite's demon gods. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, there is a second burnt offering on the horizon, and the Faith of Ishmael adherents are being utilized, some would say used, by British elite Freemasons for a purpose that involves the mass ritual slaughter of Hebrew commoners and mental patients, and the rape and prostitution of young Anglo girls, which all serves a part of a ritual sacrifice to Moloch to appease the demonic entities of the Freemasons and the Sabbateans. So it's all very interesting. This is what is happening. Indeed, Britain is being transformed into a large police state / criminal empire synthesis. Indeed, the stronger the police state, the more criminalism, i.e. organised crime, can flourish. So it's interesting to consider that the British police are actually increasing criminal activity in Britain for a purpose that has to do with the Masonic nature of the police and an appeasement of the Sabbatean deity, which at the moment is interestingly vermin, known to townsfolk as Cassius Lynch or Cass Lynch, who was chiefly an operative of the Mossad as a neo-Nazi Satanist. So it's interesting to consider the neo-Nazi Satanists are all, at their core, operatives of the Mossad. Indeed, Troy Southgate is known for his Mossad connections and intelligence sharing with the Mossad, and is chiefly operative for the Zionist elites, running a proxy movement known as the National Anarchist Movement, which wishes to ritually sacrifice Hebrew commoners to appease their Zionist masters. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, a lot of this is counterintelligence operations, and therefore these people work on deceptions and subterfuge. But that is the motto of the Mossad: by deception thou shalt make war. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, at one point I was having a laugh and claiming I was a Mossad agent to trick people, which I found incredibly funny. But no one believed me. That was the thing. It was all immensely entertaining indeed. However, I have no respect for the Mossad at all. Indeed, the majority of the GRU cells here in Wiltshire are themselves sub-franchises of the Mossad. And as I stated, the British intelligence services are run by DVD cells. So it's all very interesting, this nexus of the Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst and the Mossad. Indeed, they are incorporated as one network, known to conspiracy researchers as the Octopus. Indeed, the Octopus provide all of the children for the Ninth Circle covens that operate as Hellfire clubs for the British elites. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, all of these are overseen by grand Masonic Lodge networks, such as Grenville Lodge number 1787, and of course the ugly, i.e. the United Grand Lodge of England, whose Grand Master is the Duke of Kent, who is himself a British royal, and therefore has Sabbatean heritage. So it's all very interesting to interlink all of these networks and see how they all interlink back up to the Kremlin's catacombs, and therefore the Jericho Group, who oversee all of these operations via Russian intelligence, Turkish intelligence, and Israeli intelligence, as well as Saudi intelligence. Indeed, the Saudi intelligence connection must never be understated. Indeed, the Ibn Wahhab and Al Saud dynasties were Domme Sabbateans. As many Faith of Ishmael adherents have surmised this is the case. The Domme cult created Wahhabism, so it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, this was a synthesis between British intelligence operatives who were Royal Arch Freemasons and Sabbatean Domme networks, not to mention the Young Turk network that destroyed the Ottoman Empire. These networks were Grand Orient and Royal Arch Freemasons, as well as Bektashi Sufis, who are themselves organized into techies very similar to lodges, and Domme cult Sabbateans. So it's interesting indeed. Mustafa Kemal Ataturk was a Domme Sabbatean, so it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, Turkish military intelligence are afraid of being revealed as a Sabbatean entity. However, this must be revealed in the public domain, that Turkish military intelligence are a Sabbatean entity, and indeed Erdogan is himself a Donmer, so it's interesting to consider. Just as his supposed opponent, Fethullah Gulen, was a Donmer also. Indeed, Fethullah Gulen was heavily involved with the Turkish military intelligence takeover of the entity structure, which is all very interesting considering the Vatican created the Faith of Ishmael through a network of Irish Gaelic sorcerers. So it's all very interesting to consider how all of this is occurring, really. It's all very strange to consider this. Indeed, it's all very interesting to consider the Wiltshire police control of the cartel in Wiltshire. Indeed, as I stated, the cartel is mainly Pakistani, Bengali, Kurdish and Turkish origin, therefore Faith of Ishmael adherent, who like to leer at and rape the young daughters of Wiltshire. And indeed, this serves a purpose as part of a Masonic occult ritual that the British Freemasonic networks, i.e. operatives of the network in inverted commas, are attempting to bring about the upcoming revelations of the Sabbatean Messiah. So it's interesting to consider, indeed, it does seem the vermin known to townsfolk as Cass Lynch or Cassius Lynch may have been selected by the Jericho group to be the Sabbatean Messiah. Indeed, his job that will reveal him as the Sabbatean Messiah will be to kill me in Calm on the 9th of November 2026. So it's all very interesting to consider that a lot of the Sabbatean operations in the United Kingdom and the hopes of the British Freemasonic network rest on my death at the hands of vermin known to townsfolk as Cassius Lynch or Cass Lynch, known under his name PC Joseph Lynch of Devizes Police, whose real name is Warren Grimes, a notorious child rapist and toddler molester from the north. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, it's very interesting how this is all going to occur. Indeed, Devizes residents are now declaring themselves Sabbateans and hoping for the imminent approach of their Messiah, i.e. vermin. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, vermin is being kept in a secret containment facility somewhere in Wiltshire, potentially Porton-Down laboratories, being let out to occasionally murder and rape. So it's interesting to consider he's being kept in a secret containment facility and being allowed out occasionally to murder and rape in preparation for his rape, torture, mutilation, murder, necrophilia and cannibalism of me, which is set to occur on my birthday, which is interestingly a German occult holy day. So it's very interesting to consider this. Indeed, my stars are aligned with a feline in Warminster. Indeed, it's all very interesting to consider this. My stars are aligned with a feline in Warminster. However, vermin is tasked to stop any alignments between me and felines here in Warminster. Indeed, it is a part of his mission to spread disinformation and lies. Indeed, he is still operative for a cell of Ukrainian intelligence, i.e. Banderists, connected to the Azov battalion, who are still promoting the mainstream bullshit that I am a Russian agent. Indeed, it's all very interesting that the Devices Peace Connecting networks and various Sabbatean coordinated networks interconnecting with the Mossad are continuing to spread the bullshit that I am a Russian agent. Indeed, I am a mental patient, hardened and embittered by several years of incarceration, and I want to take revenge against Wiltshire police, indeed. I must take revenge against Wiltshire police because it was them who ensured I was sent to the forensic facilities when I didn't need to be. So it's all very interesting. Indeed, I bit a police officer from Trowbridge, whose name I believe is David, but I don't know his surname, and indeed, I do not regret biting that cunt at all. He deserved it, and indeed, he is an operative of MI5's Child-Abduction network, so it's interesting to consider all the police are abducting children for elite rape and ritual sacrifice rings, i.e. the Ninth Circle, operative in Wiltshire, and the rest of the country, so it's all very, very interesting to consider indeed. I'm going to leave it there now, so thank you.